Hey everybody, this is Craig from 9 Volt Games, and today I'm not going to do a video game review. I'm going to do a movie review. Movie review. I just come back from seeing Godzilla King of the Monsters. That shit was phenomenal. Always got to be wary about an American remake of anything Japanese, and King of the Monsters is originally one of the Toho movies from way back in the day. So let me preface by saying my 3 favorite Godzilla films are Godzilla vs. Destroyer, Godzilla Monster Island, and I'd say Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, the one with Kiryu. So obviously without Mechagodzilla being in it. Take the other 2 I said, Godzilla vs. Destroyer and Godzilla on Monster Island, and it kind of felt like a combination of those 2. What was awesome about it was when I was sitting in there. This is gonna be a hard review to do without doing any spoilers, so I'm not gonna try and do any spoilers. You obviously know what's gonna happen in the movie. This was the beginning. I know Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island, they were the beginning of the Monsterverse for Legendary. This one I feel was the actual beginning of the Monsterverse, just because you got to see more than, one monster and their adversary on screen at a time. You got to see multiples. I'm not even going to tell you how many you got to see. One of them I couldn't tell. So somebody please tell me if that big ass thing that came up from the mountain was their redesign of Angruis. It was never addressed, and it looked like Angruis, and he's one of my favorites, and he's one of the classic standbys from Godzilla Raids Again. So just the fact that they introduced so many, and the highlights were the ones that you saw in the trailers, which was Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Godzilla. So my neighbor's really loud. It was exciting to see, King versus King. So I was obviously excited for that. I've been excited for that since they announced that Ghidorah was going to be in the movie. But I got worried about which way it was going to go with Rodan and Mothra. And I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I was pleasantly surprised, and I was happy, and it felt true to the original Toho movies from back in the day while creating its own thing. It wasn't ultra Americanized. They cut down on the human drama. They could have cut down on it way more. They literally could have just had they could have had the lady show the orca machine, unleash, Ghidorah, and then they could have just let the rest of it play out the way that it wanted to. There was a couple nice nods about twins and Mothra in there, so if you're a fan of the original movies, you would appreciate that. So it was like if you're a really diehard fan of Godzilla like I am, I think you're going to get way more enjoyment out of it than somebody who came in watching the 2014 or watching Skull Island. So it's a hard one to gauge in terms of review. As a casual moviegoer, you may not actually like this movie that much. If you're a fan of mayhem and destruction, then yeah, you're gonna like this movie. And if you're a fan of Godzilla, you're gonna fucking enjoy it thoroughly. I felt like I was a kid again watching Godzilla Returns, because that was the first Godzilla movie that I remember sitting through as a child. It took me back there. It made me feel good watching it. I cannot wait to take my sons to see it. I like to see movies if I can before I go with them, because there's a lot of bathroom breaks, and there's a potential that we could have to leave early. So seeing it fully, no interruptions, just myself, it was fucking phenomenal. I did not see it in 3D. I saw in IMAX. I can't do 3D movies, but it was amazing. And the after credits scene set up one of my other favorite Godzilla bad guys, which I don't want to ruin for anybody, but it's totally worth looking at, because if you're a fan of the originals, you know where that post-credit scene is going and the potential of what the counter to that would be. So I am very excited to see what the next movie holds. I know the next one is going to be Godzilla vs. King Kong, and that's supposed to be out next year, I believe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another year off, but I'm pumped for this Monsterverse, guys. Like I said, if you're a diehard Godzilla fan, there's something in there. Even if you feel like it's getting too far detached, just having the epic music and the original score, even though it was remixed, and then at the end, at the credits, they played the original score. Even that got me pumped. I got so excited. I wish I actually wish someone was next to me so I could be like, hey, watch this shit. You don't know what this means. But it's one of those movies where you could be really obnoxious if you know more than the other person going with you. But I'm just excited to take my kids for just the intros of these characters that I've known for so long, and now my kids are growing up on Godzilla. We watch Godzilla, they play with the toys, everything. Just seeing it, seeing their eyes when those people come up. When those characters come up, it's gonna be extremely awesome. It was for me, and I'm 33 years old, so I can imagine what it's gonna be like to a 4 and a 7-year-old when they see these characters that they run around and pretend as. So I think it's awesome. I think this is a good way to boost Godzilla's popularity in America, where it's been predominantly in Japan. Obviously, as more movies have come out there than here, and we butchered our first outing with it. But I think Legendary did a great thing. I think they addressed a lot of the issues of the 2014. Not a lot of talking, comparatively. Monsters on screen, way more. And if they could just shave it down a little more for the next movie, I think the next one in line is going to be the perfect Godzilla movie, at least to come out of America. This one was definitely the best to come out of America. This one actually, to me, rivaled some of the old classics. You got to take away production values and stuff, but my favorite part is a lot of the people who were complaining about this movie, like professional critics, were saying that the story is convoluted, and if you just want to see monsters tearing up that's what a Godzilla movie is. Nobody cares about the story. The story could have been minimal. As long as there's giant monsters throwing each other around and that you get tons of that in this movie, you're going to love it. You're going to see old rivalries. You're going to see all types of shit. But yeah, go see that movie if you haven't seen it yet. Thank you guys for watching.